3-year anniversary of Historical Roast. Put your hands together for your hosts, Eddie and Ryan.
Hello, everybody.
This is Ryan Pig.
This is Eddie Firth.
It is Tuesday night, November 21st, 2017, and on this night in history, we're roasting everyone.
Everybody. It's been 3 years, guys. Guess who we have? We have Darien Sills-Evans. Give it up for him. Keep it going.
You guys will see the Puterbaugh Sisters tonight.
We got Dave Ross here.
Scout Durwood is in the house.
Brad Gage is here.
Matt McCarthy.
And Keith Carey. Give it up, everyone. Give it up.
So normally Historical Roast would focus on one historical figure.
Just one.
But after 3 years, we wanted to roast JFK, Helen Keller, Hitler, Marilyn Monroe. We wanted them all on one stage.
Yes. So we got the best and the worst. And they're all going to sit next to each other. And we're all just going to see them battle it out. It's been 3 years of, what's up?
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, buddy.
Whether anyone wants to hear this or not, this is absolutely the longest relationship I've ever had.
You know, at first I joked about it, but when we got to 3 years, yeah, this is the longest relationship I've ever had. It's not settling.
And you didn't even invite me to Thanksgiving with you this year.
Let's talk about this at home. How do you feel? Do you think you've learned anything at all? Like this, it feels like you know how Walter White was like kind of teaching Pinkman how to learn science by doing something crazy. It feels like he's teaching me history by doing this show, and you've just, my parents or a teacher like hired you to do this with me.
I'm honored that he
like
called me the Walter White of this relationship. That makes me feel pretty good.
He's the one with cancer.
That's a real fear of mine.
Leukemia left the beard, though. The chemo left the beard.
I'm half Jewish. Now I'm really nervous I have cancer. The whole night is just marred by me. Like, do I have cancer? My leg's been feeling weird recently. Is that a sign of cancer?
Yeah.
What kind of fucking doctor are you? It could be. Like, what do you... I don't know. All right.
Is that a stereotype? Because I'm hypochondriac. I'm not even Jewish.
No?
No.
Do you know where it came from? Like, what set your...
Hypochondria?
Like, yours. Mine?
Yeah. My mom always wants me to check WebMD, so that's probably where it came from.
Oh, that's the worst.
Back to the show.
I would rather just ask these people in the front row if I have cancer than WebMD.
They're looking at you like, he doesn't know yet. So
3 years, I did all the math. I did the stats on the show.
Yeah, I know. You're great with numbers. I think Eddie's slowly been replaced by a robot because he just started sending us numbers via text. Mm-hmm. Like 42, 89, 76, and we're like, are these comedians, are these shows, or are these your taxes?
So we have done, in 3 years, this is our 43rd show. I have all the costumes to prove it. We've done 43 roasts. 11 of them have been fictional roasts. 31 have been historical. We've played 5 different venues. Because we started in the Nerdist School next door. We started, the first 5 shows were there. We played here. We've done the Comedy Store, Ventura Comedy Festival, and we just recently went to New York and roasted Harry Potter at UCB in the East Village.
Yeah, give it up, don't worry. I don't remember any of this. I blacked out. I saw the pictures and it looked like fun. So I'm glad to be celebrating this with you.
I have to point this one out only because I counted. We have booked 269 acts for this show.
Whoa.
129 different comedians roasting history and fiction. Out of all of that, what are your memories? Like, what is your greatest moment? What's your favorite memory from historical and fictional?
Probably the skinhead who walked around the back when we roasted Hitler. Yeah. That was not scary at all. I was, yeah, you were...
The first year, our 1 year anniversary, we roasted Hitler in this room, and there was just a skinhead who was pacing. And I thought to myself, this is the night. We're gonna die for a comedy show, because he was really upset. It was like, I thought we had driven someone to have to defend Hitler at a comedy show.
Well, I was really scared because at that point I knew if he was listening, he knew you were Jewish and that you were probably gonna get shot. If we were both on stage, he'd be like, if he was really a skinhead, he would shoot you. And I felt bad because I'm the one who hashtagged Hitler in an Instagram post about the show. So I knew that this would get blamed on me eventually.
Ryan has gotten in several social media feuds over our show. The most prominent was he got into an argument over our first Helen Keller roast with a 13-year-old girl on Instagram.
And I have the conversation with me.
Because she was very upset that we were not being more respectful to Helen Keller.
So the poster, I wasn't here just a second ago. Did he tell you what the poster was for that show? It was duct tape on her face and her mouth.
That's awesome.
As a poster. Helen Keller. So I posted it on Instagram.
We did get in a little trouble for that one.
Of course, I hashtag Helen Keller because I'm an idiot. And this poor 14-year-old girl found it and she commented on my post. She's like, "How dare you? This is Helen Keller." Told me everything that Helen Keller did.
And like a normal person, he just let it go. He just moved on with his day.
No, I commented and I said, "I'm sorry you feel that way. But you're assuming the jokes will focus on her disabilities instead of her political and theological views. You also have never listen, I don't think I came off as an asshole in this, but writing it I was like, I'm an asshole. You also have never seen the show. A roast honors the roastee, except for Hitler. It's a sign of respect in the comedy world. Helen Keller is just like anybody in history. She overcame obstacles, helped many, but is human and should be treated equally. If you deny her the chance to be treated like any of our past roastees, then I'm sorry. That seems pretty disrespectful to me." And then I quoted Helen Keller. I wrote, "Death is no more than passing from one room to another." Mic drop. And then Eddie commented and said, "Yeah, so fucking disrespectful, Ryan." Couldn't let it go.
You're an asshole. It's funny because the show doesn't feel like anything you just said. Like all of that description did not feel accurate to the show.
They used my phone to look up pregnancy porn.
A lot of information.
But no, Helen Keller, I was surprised with that roast because I came up with way more jokes than I thought I could for Helen, so for someone who's deaf and blind and dead and a child. I'm a bad person.
I have described people. The moments that I felt the worst in this show were how many times I would ask someone if someone else was dead. For the longest time, I just kept going, wait a minute, Muhammad Ali's still alive? And then he wasn't. And so I was like, oh, we can roast him now.
Yeah.
But this show causes you to just ask, wait, is that person dead yet?
And then they die.
And you're like, great content.
Didn't you ask how Charles Manson is doing the other week? And now?
I don't know. Is he dead yet?
Yeah, he just died.
No.
And he doesn't read the news.
No, I'm saying there's no real. I mean, I don't have anything on Charles Manson right now.
Really?
Yeah, I got nothing.
That's something you should have something on.
I got in trouble. When I got in trouble at work the other day because when someone said it, I just brought up the point. Like, I was like, I asked someone. I was like, well, how do you feel? Because Charles Manson has been married 3 times while he was in prison, and you still can't find a date. I don't. And they got upset. And so it got worse because I brought up the point. I was like, look, the thing to recognize is that no one is all bad. You know, like, he's not all bad. He's got some good somewhere. Oh, look, he's a horrible human being. We're going to have Hitler up here. He's terrible.
He loves dogs, though.
JFK's not great. But ultimately, no one's all... Anyway, that one got me in a lot of... So I was like,
you just compare JFK and Hitler? Mm-hmm. This is why he hosts the show.
Yeah. I liked that we used to give out fleshlights.
We did a lot of goofy shit for Fleshlight. They were like, we're gonna give you fleshlights, and we're like, we'll dance for you. We'll make the audience answer questions, and then it stopped, and we're like, we're just gonna give them comedy.
Every month they would email me like, how many more fleshlights do you want? I would be like, 6, and they would send them. The next month they'd be like, well, how many do you want now? And I'd be like, can I get 8 this time? And they would just send them. And then the rep asked, did you try one yet? I was like, no, I gave them all away with like, this next box has one with your name on it. And I was like, oh, shit. So I have 3 fleshlights.
I threw mine away.
You threw your fleshlight away?
Yeah, it got disgusting. I wasn't cleaning it. It smelled like... I wasn't using it after it started smelling.
Ryan.
But if you want to really picture it, it smelled like how LA smells when it rains. There you go.
What does
You know
that say
exactly.
about you?
My
Jesus.
dick smells like LA when it rains.
I feel like that's the title of the musical about your life.
I already started writing it. It's dancing fleshlights in it. Do you want to bring up some of the dead people? By the way, I'm pretty sure we're going to hell because we've roasted really good people as well as... Wait, if we've roasted Hitler, Hitler's the most reoccurring character...
False.
...on this show.
False. I did the numbers, man.
Okay.
False.
Who's the
Hitler
most...
has appeared 3 times on the show. He is beaten out by someone else who's on this panel tonight who's been here 4 times. Marilyn Monroe is our most reoccurring character.
I didn't count tonight.
Twice she has been the special guest roaster when we roasted JFK. Once she got her very own roast. We just roasted her, and Joe DiMaggio was her special guest. DiMaggio. And one time she was a part of a panel where we roasted a whole bunch of Hollywood stars like Marlon Brando, James Dean,
That's right.
Judy Garland. So Marilyn Monroe appearing tonight for the 5th time on our stage.
And Helen Keller's a third. The third most, right?
Yes.
Or John Adams.
John Adams. Our rule was John Adams could never get his own roast.
That's right.
Because he's always pushed to the side, so he could be a special guest, but he was never allowed to be, like, his name could never be on the marquee. Who's going to a John Adams roast? We'd have to write like a whole musical just to get some. You had to write a whole musical just to get people to pay attention to Hamilton with John Adams.
Yeah.
He got a beer. That was it, right? Is that or is it Samuel?
That was his cousin. Yeah.
Fuck John Adams. So I think we should bring out our guests.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president.
Keep it going for Helen Keller and Ann Sullivan.
Yeah. Which one's Helen? Give it up for Walt Disney.
Let's hear it for Marilyn Monroe.
And her better half, JFK.
One of our founding fathers, Ben Franklin.
And give Heil and hello to Hitler. They're like, should we still clap?
We will clap.
What an all-star panel. You guys look great. How's everyone feeling tonight? Hey, you don't hear it. Take
This is our Justice League.
Oh, you gave Hitler the mic first? Seems like a poor decision.
It
Strong
seemed
move.
okay.
I don't know. Feels a little Jew heavy, but I'm literally anybody do anything.
What was the question again?
I don't think there was a question. I think we just
How
want to
are
hear
you?
Like I said, my back hurts a little bit.
JFK, did you see the new movie LBJ? Have you seen it?
No. Is that about me? Because
No.
they used to, actually, I was the real LBJ in the White House. You know what that stands for? Lots of blowjobs.
They're all like, we didn't know that. I'm writing that down.
All right, I'll pass on the microphone.
I'll pass another one over here.
Right here. There you go. That's a microphone. Microphone.
Speaking louder is not going to change anything, honestly.
She's a woman. She can't hear you. It's good to be here. Thank you. It's really good to be anywhere. I'm glad Helen's not in a well right now. And that's it, I guess. I guess that's it.
I'd love to ask Walt Disney a question.
Sure, why not?
An innovator, one of the brightest minds on the panel. Of everyone here, who do you respect the most?
I don't respect anyone. Hitler, for sure. Yeah. That's my guy right there. Yeah. What's up, dude? He gets it. Hell yeah, man. Here you go.
Abe,
Yes.
Abe, you have the chance to ask Ben Franklin anything or say anything to him. Now you guys are face to face.
All this time, I thought you'd be blacker.
I'm not entirely clear if we knew each other.
Small gap.
That's why I thought he'd be blacker if there were a time machine.
There's barely any pictures of him. You're still a bullet hole in your hat, by the way. That's like a dent. He knew he died. I mean.
Well, he's lucky he got in the back.
Yeah, true.
Marilyn, you're our most roasted person up here tonight. Anything you're afraid is going to get brought up?
Oh, I've come to terms with everything in my past.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Franklin, Marilyn Monroe, Abe Lincoln, Walt Disney, Hitler, JFK, Helen Keller, and Ansel. Bring them a big round of applause. Ryan, you want to bring up our very first roaster
I
tonight?
have too many microphones, Eddie. Okay, so we didn't think this through, but he'll get through there. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your first historical roaster tonight? Then give it up for your Sweet 16 president, Mr. Abraham Lincoln.
A couple of assholes. Roast-iversary. 3 years to roasting people. If they're alive, they wouldn't even give those guys the time of day. Teddy and Ryan are such big pussies that Charlie Rose just asked to meet them in a hotel room. It's true. It's true. Look at this dais. Helen Keller, Walt Disney, Hitler, JFK. Racist, all of them. I bet you didn't even know that between them, they didn't know a single black person. Except maybe Helen Keller, to whom everyone was black. Let's give it up for Eddie Firth. Looks like Telly Savalas fucked Dr. Farnsworth. Joke doesn't make much sense, but it doesn't make sense that his mother didn't throw him in a dumpster either. Eddie and Ryan are fine, but I always thought as a team, Robert E. Lee and John Wilkes Booth would be way funnier. I'm hard on Eddie, but there are a few people less talented than him, and one of those people is Ryan Pig. Marilyn Monroe is here. One of cinema's first real sex symbols. Every woman wanted to be her. Every Kennedy wanted to fuck her. Okay.
And him.
Yeah. Good.
Not Ted.
How did I wind up on the $5 bill and Franklin wind up on the $100 bill?
$100 bill, yo!
The motherfucker wasn't even president. Who'd you blow to get on the C note? Oh, right, everyone in France. Walt Disney is here. He brought his date, Oliver Hardy. Oh, that's Fat Hitler. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay, Black Abraham Lincoln.
Walt Disney is so racist, he once called the Seven Dwarves a nigger pile. True. He would actually show us what a nigger pile was in Song of the South, and that's the reason why we don't see that movie anymore. So, you know, when you're a visiting president in town, you get a lot of shit. I got tickets to Hamilton, and I was inspired, you know, to write something special for tonight. Can I share it with you guys? Yeah. I wonder if I could take a minute to bend your ear, man. Got a few bars about this day, is they're sincere, man. We got the finest names in history, that's what they say, man. But really, they're all pieces of shit. That's why we're here, man. Take a look at Ben Franklin. He was famous for his thinking. A forefather and hustler. Except when it came to slavery, then it left it for another me.
Oh, that's so much potential.
So much. Just, I needed like another hour.
Is that a Sammy Davis number?
It is. Whom is that? Is that a Negro I freed? So I was saying. Eminem and JFK, better believe that dude had his way with that ass. Then he passed her on to his brother Bobby's way. Poor Marilyn. Marilyn Monroe was movie eye candy, mostly famous for showing her panties. She fucked around and eventually found pills just came in way too handy.
Historically accurate.
Trying to keep it. Thank you. Helen Keller.
Yes.
Hitler's here. And he's not killing Jews, just listening to the people. He's bad. And yes, he's a fucking dick. But there's someone who's more evil. Oh, Walt! If you can't pay for Disney shit, it's all his fault. And if your kid's crying at the gate, you better vote. And if the mouse grabs your tits, please don't call it assault. Cause he ain't paying 1 ounce cent from his damn vault. Halt. It's also strong evidence that he hated women, black, and Jews. Very strong evidence. He did. So that's the gist of this day, so thank you for your ear, man. Give it up for Historical Roast. It's been 3 years, man, teaching history a lesson. That's the motto that they cheered, man. Hopefully they keep this shit going. A fixture here, man. Peace.
Abraham Lincoln. I hate musicals. I wasn't expecting that. I'm excited to bring our next guests to the stage. Something I learned when we first roasted Helen Keller, I honestly didn't pay enough attention in school to learn this. Ann Sullivan was blind too. I had no idea, right? And I guess that answers the age-old question of what happens when the blind leads the blind. You write 12 books, you become a social activist, and win a Nobel Peace Prize. So please welcome to the stage Helen Keller and Ann Sullivan.
It's good to be anywhere. I am Ann Sullivan, and I don't really see what's funny about any of this, honestly. I'm Ann Sullivan. Being the real miracle worker is hanging out with this broad all day long, I'll tell you that much. I don't think that a teacher's salary is really cutting it. I have to make sure that she's not being trampled by a horse. We had a couple bad horse hoof incidents last year. And, I guess, honestly, the best thing to say is that she doesn't have a voice, so she's just like any other woman at my time. Oh, yes. No, we're not at the Comedy Store. Yes. Yeah, sure. Helen is going to try some crowd work. She's asking you, where do you work?
I'm also a teacher.
Oh.
Yeah.
She says, I don't have a joke for that. Okay, I guess. All right, I guess. Abe Lincoln, wow, don't quit your day job, am I right? Sure, yes. Abe Lincoln. Abe's really changed since you've seen him last. Haven't seen him last, yes. Abe Lincoln, he freed the sleeves. He's freed everybody's sleeves, so now everybody can have tank tops. Yes. I don't know, I kind of think you're a cool guy, Abe. I don't really understand how roasts work. Cool guy, honest stuff. Pretty much to me, you just look like a bartender at the Pikey. You look like you could just muddle my drinks in Silver Lake right now. Do you have anything to spoof about, Helen? Anything to spoof on? Anything to goof? Any kind of goofs going on for Abe Lincoln? Cool guy. Honest stuff. Yep. Hipster. Hipsters, free them. Free the hipsters. Right. Right. They are tied. They are tied. Walt Disney. Huh. Walt Disney. Yes. I don't know, you are just enclosed in a room and you draw a bunch of mice, you hang out with young boys, and you have a creep show on your face of a mustache, yet being a pedophile is not your thing. I don't get it. Turns out hating the Jews, that's more your thing. Jew-hating kind of guy. So just never liked him, huh? What'd they do to you? All right. Helen says, hates Jews. Yes. All right, what do we have next? Turns out Hitler's here. Hitler's at it again. The show, Helen and I are pitching to CISO. CISO. We're pitching it to CISO. Trump? Yes. Oh, she still gets me every once in a while, I tell ya. Every once in a while with those CISO gags. All right, next down the line, Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin, he's taller than we remember. He was a tiny man at one time. Yes. He's wearing cargo shorts for some reason tonight. Casual guy. Ben Franklin, boring, am I right? Oh gosh, it's just another example of how a tiny guy gets too much credit, you know what I mean? For me, I kind of just think that you chose to fly a kite and you didn't check the weather. Yep, that's about what it should have gotten. Anything to say on Ben Franklin cargo shorts? Old Navy Ben Franklin cargo shorts. Super cash Ben Frank. Anything? No, not gonna touch the stuff. Okay. JFK. Yes, right. Please. Cuck. Maybe it should have been da-da-da-da-da, the mafia elected me. I don't know, you're attractive, unfaithful, and you have a lot of power. I think you should have just been an actor, maybe, instead. Oh, got it. That's a light. It's a light we've got. It's not going that well, actually, turns out. All right, JFK, how does it feel to know that being a Kennedy brother isn't even as cool as being a Baldwin? How does it feel to know that the Biodome movie is trumping you? Okay, all right. Not going well. Marilyn, I mean, I'm a feminist, and I don't really know what that means yet. But turns out neither does America. Oh, that's a good spoof, Helen. That's a good goof. She's a 35-year-old woman in Hollywood, so she's worse off than me, and I am a blind, deaf mute. Good. You'll get a new pair of sunglasses tonight. New pair of sunglasses. Marilyn, I can't judge you for being slutty because I've been fingered by a blacksmith. You know? You know what they say about you. Boy, were you raped a lot. Yes. It's true. I mean, truth in comedy. You know what I mean? I really liked your tweet the other day. It said, "Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I know what JFK's dick looks like, and you don't." And I guess I don't know. I really don't envy you because I feel like you have been assaulted more than the victims of Harvey Weinstein, Spacey, and Louis C.K. combined. Oh, really? Oh, too soon, huh? I take care of a blind, deaf, mute woman, all right? It's too soon for you guys in Hollywood? At Nerd Melt, all right. We're not getting booked again. No Twitter followers yet. Thank you.
To relaxing. You were the most relaxed anyone's ever been around Hitler. You're just chilling. I see you, Adolf. God, I've learned a lot about Helen Keller tonight. Did you guys know that she was forbidden from getting married? Forbidding disabled people from getting married is kind of like having sex with Eddie. No one does it anymore. No. Gotcha, Eddie. Next roaster. Guys, we gotta be careful. Although Walt Disney's dead, his lawyers are still alive. But until then, give it up for the one, the only Walt fucking Disney.
Anything your heart desires will come.
Yeah, I'm fucking Walt Disney, okay? You're welcome. I changed all your lives, you know, when you were fucking kids or whatever, and now I'm here, so you're just gonna fucking love this, no matter what. All right, let's get a few things straight right out of the gate. First off, I'm not nice. I am not a nice person. I am just not. I for sure will not be kind to you. 2, I don't like kids, and I don't like Jews, and I fucking hate everyone else. I really do fucking hate kids, man. I fucking hate kids. I fucking hate them. I drew that mouse so I had a new fucking thing to jerk off to. And then all these kids fucking liked it, and I became a millionaire, and then I had to lie that it wasn't a mouse I wanted to fuck. You You ever notice how Steamboat Willie's mouth is the exact shape of a dick? Yeah, my dick. Coco, in theaters now. JFK and Marilyn Monroe's story is a lot like one of my movies. A beautiful princess meets a dashing young man. He gets shot in the head and she overdoses on fucking pills. That is actually the original ending of Lady and the Tramp. I lied before. I am not a fan of Adolf Hitler. Sorry, man. Lost my place on my phone. Not a fan of Adolf Hitler. He killed 6 million Jews, and he did some bad stuff. He committed suicide, the coward's way out. A real hero freezes himself. Ben Franklin discovered electricity, but still couldn't manage to not be fat. Ben Franklin invented bifocals because his wife had trouble reading and seeing his dick. Variety calls Coco a must-see. Being frozen isn't so bad. It feels just like well, let's back up. I'm great. Fuck you. Being frozen is not so bad. It feels just like being alive feels for Helen Keller. That was too much. I celebrated killing 6 million Jews, but that was too much. Anne Sullivan has stayed by Helen Keller throughout her entire life, through everything. She's always had Anne, which just proves my theory. If you're deaf and blind, you gotta be good at eating pussy. If you want a truly singular experience, see Coco in 3D. I was hanging out with Helen Keller once and I really screwed up. I said, "Wait, you haven't seen The Wire?" And I felt really bad, but then I realized she couldn't hear me. I like to think that if Abe Lincoln were born just a little bit later, he would have been shot watching a Disney movie. Abe Lincoln was shot in the back of the head at a theater, which is the 10 millionth reason he shouldn't have freed the slaves. Walt Disney hated black people. Marilyn Monroe converting to Judaism was my 9/11. They refer to the bullet that killed JFK as the magic bullet. Speaking of magic, you should go see Coco in theaters now. JFK was a Navy lieutenant, fought in World War II, during which time he received 6 medals of valor. He was a congressman, a senator, and president of the United States. But can he draw a mouse? I don't fucking think so. I drew a mouse and now I own Coca-Cola and Star Wars. Fuck him. JFK famously battled a Japanese destroyer in the tiny PT boat he captained, PT-109. During that fight, the destroyer appeared out of nowhere in the dark and collided with his PT boat, and thus began his long career of not seeing shit coming. You should really all see Coco. It's fucking beautiful. Thank you so much. I've been Walt Disney.
Walt Disney. Never meet your heroes. I'm excited to introduce our next guest. As we said earlier, she is the most roasted person in the history of historical roast. It's something I learned when we were studying Marilyn Monroe. She actually had 2 miscarriages. The first was The Misfits with Clark Gable. Actually, Clark Gable said, working with you, he felt like he was going to have a heart attack, and then 10 days later died of a heart attack. But the second miscarriage was actually a baby that she was carrying with her Some Like It Hot co-star Tony Curtis, and she miscarried that child. But whatever it takes, because that movie was fucking incredible. So, I mean, that's all it took. So, guys, please welcome to the stage Marilyn Monroe.
Don't know if I need my glasses. I'll put them there just in case. Oh, sure do, yeah. Hi, Marilyn Monroe. Now, plenty of people... Turn the flash up. That's insane. What year... Thank you. Plenty of people here tonight are going to make fun of me for being promiscuous, to which I say, grow up. Slut shaming isn't cool anymore. There are plenty of other things to make fun of me for, like I'm kind of dumb. But I'll show you. You don't have to be smart to tell a joke. Watch this. Hey, what's the difference between a dumb blonde and a dumb... Wait. Hey, what's... Shut. What's the difference... I got it. Hey, what's the difference between a dumb blonde? Thank you. I died at the age of 36, proving the old Hollywood adage true. If you're a woman over 35 trying to make it in show business, you might as well kill yourself. They found my body at my home in Brentwood, but to be fair, if you lived in Brentwood, you'd think about killing yourself too. Honestly, just crossing the 405 is a nightmare. 36, 24, 36? Only if they reduce women to numerical sex objects. Okay. Okay. Abe Lincoln? Black Abe Lincoln? First of all, you dress like you're on your way to audition to be the 5th member of Mumford & Sons. Second of all, your biggest credit is being the President of the United States of America, which we all know isn't worth shit anymore. Thank you. A literal garbage bag and a wig can win that honor, so slow your roll. Speaking of slowing your roll, what's the deal with you bragging about freeing the slaves all the time? You're historically represented as a white man. People of color put blood, sweat, tears, and years into their life into emancipation, and you get credit for it. You, historically represented as white man. That's like trying to make a movie about the important history of jazz and instead writing La La Land. Thank you. You kept our union together when, let's be real, maybe you just should have broken up then. It isn't really a great relationship. I mean, people in the South still hate black people, and I had to pay $1,200 for a trip to the ER for a UTI because we don't have health care. Hey, Abe, if I give you a penny, why don't you go buy yourself a better legacy? Alexander Hamilton... Thank you, one man. Thank you. Alexander Hamilton got to be on a $10 bill, and his biggest claim to fame is being played by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Sorry to have to take a dark turn here, but I need to address the racist anti-Semite in the room. Say it with me. Walt Disney. You hear that? That's why Trump got elected, guys. It's Hitler. No, it's Disney. Well, you could dream of nearly anything, except for a female protagonist with a college degree. You taught okay, many of you know that Mickey Mouse, oh, this is funny. I think so, I don't know. Many of you know that Mickey Mouse first appeared in a cartoon called Steamboat Willie, but what you don't know is the original name for that cartoon was Who Wants a Mustache Ride? world that no dream was impossible as long as they were white and not Jewish. You were the, oh yeah, but at least we'll always have your legacy. Star Wars land. Thank you so much. Ben Franklin, it's rumored that you too were a ladies' man, which is impossible to believe. Look at your face. You look like the crypt keeper fell off his planet Weight Watchers. You look like Santa Claus let himself go. You look like a more sexually attractive Jonah Hill. You know, the real story of Ben Franklin, this is true, I learned it on the interweb. The real story of Ben Franklin is that he got famous for publishing not true news, you know, kind of like a Rupert Murdoch Breitbart thing, and then retired, this is true, retired at 42 and just had a bunch of slaves in free time and came up with some crazy ideas. What a prolific retirement. Why don't you teach my father-in-law something? He's been retired for years now. All he knows how to do is to annoy me over Thanksgiving. Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan are here. You guys have such a close relationship. Where you finger spell the words into her head. I love that story. Tell me the story again about how you taught Helen the word for masturbate. Because in theory you'd have to correct her, catch her in the act. Okay. Helen said that she visited 39 countries in her career, and that's not true. They actually just put her on the plane and drove around and went vroom, vroom, and shook her seat. Oh, look, Paris! Okay, Hitler, you're here. What can we say about Hitler that hasn't already been said? You had a mostly a legume-based diet. Talk about a gas chamber. You're famously addicted to meth, so you're the Robert Downey Jr. of dictators. Also, you kicked off World War II, which makes sense, because you're a failed artist. It's like maybe if you'd been creative, you would have thought of World War I. Okay, still not all of your legacy is bad. Without you, Steven Spielberg would not have an Oscar, so... Joke's on Jew. I'll accept your groan. I'll accept. Finally, JFK. Oh, my baby, you're here. The only person in this room more overblown than me, and I mean that literally. You know, there's a conspiracy theory that I was actually murdered by you and your people because I died of a pill overdose, that's true, but there was no water in my cup. And people also think that I wouldn't have swallowed so many pills because there were so many rumors that I had a very, very sensitive gag reflex. And you would know, you started those rumors. Okay, fine, well. Your legacy of sexual predation was such an open secret, if you were alive today, you'd be Louis C.K. Okay, well. Your Boston accent makes you sound like an even less literate Marky Mark. Anyway, Johnny, if you need me after the show, I'll be fucking your brother. Thank you so much.
Marilyn Monroe! Now, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for a very controversial figure. The reason Marilyn's dead, probably. President JFK!
That song is inaccurate. I was shot through the head. Shot through the head. Well, I know what you're all thinking right now. Finally, a president who didn't harass women. Oh, you've heard. Okay, well, yeah, that's fine. Yes, I'll tell you, I am very glad I'm not around for this Me Too situation right now. While I was president, the only Me Too I had to fear was when Lady Bird Johnson wanted to join the skinny dipping party with my secretaries. That was LBJ's wife. This is a history lesson. And Marilyn, thank you so much for your kind words. Marilyn Monroe, give it up for her. Give it up for Marilyn. Marilyn, you're just like my least favorite president, a Hoover. You both sucked a lot for the American people. That's just true. Thank you very much. Marilyn, after you died, we got Elton John's Candle in the Wind, which is actually a more accurate title for Helen Keller because all she sees is darkness and her voice sounds like wind moving through an old tool shed. Speak for us, Helen, speak. Yes, there we go. Ah. Helen, you actually would have been a much better mistress than Marilyn. You'd keep quiet about it. You're clearly amazing with your hands. And if I had to murder you, it'd be much easier to make it look like an accident. Oh, whoops. I guess she accidentally stepped into that running chainsaw right outside her door. I've heard that happens when you're blind and deaf. Well, that's case closed, I guess. I will say, Helen, that you are more than just an unattractive blind woman. You are also a much heralded author of books in Braille. But honestly, that doesn't impress me much. I mean, if I wanted to feel little nubs, I would have kept having sex with Jackie. Small boobs. Ben Franklin is here, everybody. Ben Franklin. I swear to God, if I hear one more time how much of a ladies' man you were, I'll book depository myself. Either you've got some sort of Ron Jeremy Dick thing going on, or you invented the first vibrator. There's just no way I believe that you pulled more tail than me. I just don't believe it. I mean, I don't know what women saw in you. You look like either a nerdy Gallagher or the Quaker Oats guy with his hat off. Yeah, that's a good impression. But jokes aside, it's weird to see what America has become since I died. So many mass shootings happening in the country today. It's crazy. And I just hope that it promotes more empathy. Empathy for me, that is, actually, because now someone else knows how it feels to be shot at in Texas. It's a roast. It's a roast, guys. Roasting America. We also have Hitler here. Give it up for Hitler. Speaking of getting shot. I'll tell you, we've all made fun of Hitler a lot, but I'm just getting a little tired of it. Here's a few things that I think are more interesting than making fun of Hitler. Okay, we've done it plenty. Here's one thing more interesting than making fun of Hitler. Learning about astrology. Deleting old Instagram videos off your camera roll. And being cornered by a flat earther in an extra holding area for the show This Is Us. Those are all more interesting. But I will make fun of you. They're Adolf. Adolf, you are famous for many things. Your mustache, killing 6 million Jews, your paintings. But I hadn't realized until now you are also the world's most famous cock. You've been sitting in hell for 70 years watching the United States do whatever we please with the country you fucked years ago. All of Europe. It's true. This is going well. We don't even have people inside of some of these countries that you fucked over anymore, yeah. We just got what we needed and then got the fuck out, just like I got the fuck out of Bing Crosby's Palm Springs condo right after banging Marilyn. That's where it was. It only happened once, actually. I don't know if you do that. Hitler, have you seen what's going on with the Nazis now? You know? How does it... You have seen it? Yeah.
Big fan.
Good. How does it feel to work all your life to create a master race, only to have your ideas passed on to a bunch of diabetic, crock-wearing, unemployed men who go to parks on weekends and wear tactical gear left over from their LARPing days? How does it feel? The only books those guys have lying around to burn are Ted Nugent's biography and the Da Vinci Code. Fun fact, Ted Nugent does have a biography. It's called God, Guns, and Rock and Roll. 3 things that this liberal crowd is really afraid of. I can tell. Well, fancy Mark Maron, Walt Disney's here. Walt Disney, yes. The John Lasseter of his time. Lasseter was to respecting women what you were to depicting black people as 3-dimensional humans. Very bad at it. Too soon? Just happened. Walt, I just got to say, this is just true. You look like someone's kindly grandfather who ends up being gay way late in life, and no one's really surprised. While some people reject the idea that you hated Jews, it was reported that you did go to several American Nazi Party events before World War II. Which explains why Snow White was originally titled Snow Aryan and the Seven Inferior Races. Abe Lincoln's here, everybody. Give it up for Abe Lincoln. Labia Lincoln. Just thought of that. That's good. Keep it. If the memes are true, we have a lot in common. I had a secretary named Lincoln, and you had a secretary named Kennedy. I was shot in the head, and you were shot in the head. You were obsessed with cats, and I was obsessed with pussy. I do think we can both agree that we had ungrateful wives, Abe. I mean, we gave them a life of luxury and fame. The least they could have done was jump in front of the gun for us, am I right? I mean, when they say lean in, it'd be great if they meant it. That's all I'm saying. Abe, you have terrible genes. 3 of your kids died of health problems. You saw more of your kids die than most people saw movies with Henry Cavill as Superman. That's for the nerds. And I'm sure you think you're some big shit because you were a lawyer and I was just a politician. Well, I like my presidents who weren't assassinated. Which means I also hate myself. But not as much as you son of a bitch, because you lived your whole life in deep depression. You did. You were chronically depressed, which makes sense, because you look like Slender Man if he had joined up with Bon Iver. Only all the songs are still sad, they're just about how all your sons are dead. Thank you all, and may the Catholic God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Here we go for JFK. I used to get Ben Franklin and the Quaker Oats guy mixed up too. It's a common one. How you guys doing?
Thank you.
At 6 years old, how was I supposed to? Come on, you know. How would we feel about Hitler if we found out that he came to the future and voted for Donald Trump?
Unsurprised?
I feel like I just would have expected more from you. You know?
They're voting for it'd be weird if they letting me vote. This time, Hitler.
Also, that you were time traveling.
Yeah.
You realize you did the one thing most people want to do, which is kill you. Like every time someone brings up time travel, like, well, what would you do? I'd go back and kill Hitler first, right? Like that's the standard answer. It's nice to know that if we did invent time travel, people would just use it to murder somebody. Like the best technology, like the first thing we have to do is kill someone, right? There might have been something there. I was just waiting. I'm very excited to introduce our next guest. He's the third person that we ever roasted on Historical Roast. He's coming back to the stage. Please put your hands together for Benjamin Franklin.
Song they wrote about me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When I was told that I was invited to a roast, I assumed we'd be eating slow-cooked meat. I mean, I wrote jokes. I wrote some jokes, but still, I couldn't have been. Was I the only one who said, "Hitler, you're fat"? Didn't you? We're both fat. So I didn't eat before I came here. Yeah. Tomorrow is 54 years since John Kennedy was shot. Isn't that exciting? 54 years ago, tomorrow. And it was 54 years ago tomorrow that you got blown away, which means it was 55 years since you got blown by Marilyn. Can I get like a hot dog? The government actually just released a ton about your assassination, and you released a ton on Marilyn's ass. Is there like a hot pocket? I thought that we were going to be roasting beef. But don't worry, Jack. Don't worry. Banging Marilyn is not your lasting legacy. There's a very famous international airport named after you. It's great. You can go practically anywhere in the world. You can go to Europe, South America, Malaysia. Although those flights sink into the ocean more often than your son. Just like a BLT. Just move. Yeah, your kid's dead, your brother's dead, you're dead. Everybody in your family's dead. I think the only person to shit the bed more often would have been Helen Keller. Can I get a yodel? Helen Keller's here, but don't anybody tell her! like a Tootsie. Helen Keller, blind and deaf, so only slightly less useless than a normal woman. It's not me saying that, it's Ben Franklin. Helen Keller, blind and deaf. I believe it was Louis C.K. who said to Helen Keller, "You didn't see that coming?" Like a yogurt, like a... Abraham Lincoln is here, apparently. This one I just came up with when I saw Mr. Lincoln in person. Lincoln, Lincoln, I've been thinking, what the heck have you been drinking? Is it water? Is it wine? No, it's a ton of chocolate milk, apparently, because his complexion is... You can thank me for all of this. Is this thing on? You're welcome. Yes, it is. Abraham Lincoln, you are so ugly. The weird moles on your face are like the least offensive thing about it. About your face. Is ugly. You look like beef jerky. Picture actual Abraham Lincoln for these jokes. So ugly. You look like one of the trees from Wizard of Oz. One of the singing. Can I get like an apple? This is an interesting fun fact about Abraham Lincoln. He was a championship wrestler. That's true. Did you guys know that? That's true. His most famous wrestling match was wrestling Mary Todd to the ground. You ugly fuck. Yeah, it wasn't until I got up here that I realized Michael Jackson was supposed to be here and isn't. I have so many good Michael Jackson ones. I'll do one. Or I'll do them all. That's like I'm sitting there thinking, wow, nobody's touched Michael Jackson. Like, Michael Jackson, you put more chocolate nuts inside kids than M&Ms. Because he was black when he was younger. That's, you know. This is, I have 3 favorites for Michael Jackson. I'm just gonna do them. When am I gonna do Michael Jackson roast jokes? As Benjamin Franklin. Hey, Michael. Do you regret touching all those little kids back in 1993? You should have just molested adult women because it would have been another 25 years before anyone gave a shit. Kids used to want to see Michael Jackson moonwalk. Instead, you'd show them Uranus. All right, this is the other one. I admit, Michael Jackson, you are the most talented member of your family. I mean, way more talented than Tito. Tito Jackson, the only person less reliable than him is Dr. Conrad Murray. That was a fun little trip we took. Walt Disney! Walt Disney's here. A man so racist, he's taking most of the pressure off of Adolf Hitler. Walt, you were the brains behind Song of the South, a movie so racist you can't see it screened anywhere in public except for the White House. Can I get a... Still hungry. Walt, you probably could have been a little bit cooler to black people, and that's coming from a slave owner. Now, I'm not saying that Walt Disney hated all racial minorities because Jews are a religion. They're not a race. It was written better. What do Donald Duck and Charlie Rose have in common? They walk around without their pants on. Okay. And Adolf Hitler. I got nothing to say. I think he's a great guy. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks a lot, everybody. Read the Franklin Prophecy. Benjamin Franklin, everybody. And Franklin.
I don't know the dance. By the way, Michael Jackson's not going to make it tonight. Eddie wanted me to tell you that. Woo! I'm going to skip over that. The next roaster is controversial. Actually, in April, he was born, he was married, and then he killed himself. There are actually more days about Hitler than there are Judaism in April, which makes you think, who really won the war? Ladies and gentlemen, mein Führer, Adolf Hitler.
So I've noticed a lot of you getting real happy about the woke roasting that has happened. I'm gonna be real with you, doesn't bode well for old Hitler. One more time, by the way, for Ryan and Eddie, who've been hosting the show for 3 years. It's incredible they've been hosting that show for 3 years and have not gotten better at it at all. Holy god damn it, not since a Russian winter has something fucked up Hitler's momentum so badly. Christ on a bike. What a couple of absolutely forgettable, irrelevant humans. All right. Let's fucking... You know, it's weird, because I got here and I was like, oh, it's weird that there's a black Abraham Lincoln, and then I heard him rap. I'm like, oh, never mind, that's white Abraham Lincoln. You stand corrected, holy shit. Abe Lincoln, president, emancipator, mystery black guy, also secretly gay. I'm surprised nobody's mentioned that. Abe Lincoln, yeah, I didn't know you could put a top hat on a power bottom. That's, it's incredible. He married Mary Todd because he couldn't marry Todd. This is one I wrote when I thought he was going to be white. Abe Lincoln sympathized with the slaves because they both know what it's like to be a strange fruit. Oh, that's such a good reference. Fuck all of you. That's fine. All right. Ben Franklin, you're a fat sack of shit. You fucking steampunk boogie board instructor. You're the only founding father who got his powdered wig and then asked if they came in glazed. It's fucking dumb. Walt Disney is a man who did the impossible and made Florida worse. He uses cheap animation from overseas, so I guess we both know how to make the Asians do our dirty work for us. All right. Marilyn Monroe is a woman with an hourglass figure and a stopwatch lifespan. You're the original Courtney Love because you're a junkie, your boyfriend got his head blown off, and you're famous for being bad at everything. If your acting were any more stiff and wooden, Abraham Lincoln would sit on it. If you want to hear what Marilyn Monroe's singing voice sounds like, just imagine Jennifer Tilly faking an orgasm through a kazoo. If I had a nickel for every millionaire Marilyn fucked out of their money, I would be her divorce attorney. Your pussy is such an overblown money pit, your clit says Trump on it. Marilyn and Jackie O have one thing in common. They both know what it's like to scrub JFK's fluids off a dress. Oh, now you're getting weird on Hitler? All right. Fuck you, JFK, he's also a person. The Kennedys are American royalty in that they're inbred monsters and they keep getting publicly executed. Here's a reference I like a lot that not everybody's gonna get. JFK crushed more pussy than Rosemary Kennedy at a pet store. She's retarded, for anybody who didn't know that. All right, well, you're running like this one. Rumor is JFK actually got Marilyn Monroe pregnant and then forced her to get an abortion. That's a story I read. And I get it, dude, because I've also gotten in trouble for putting one in the oven. Helen Keller. Let me put this in a language Helen can understand. Oh, God. I missed, but you get it. Oh my God. Helen Keller is a blind woman from Alabama, which explains why she always says, I don't even see color, but I can smell it. A lot of people don't know this, but Helen Keller had a secret sexual affair while she was in school. Or at least she thinks she did. Nobody tell her that was the dog. Oh, sorry, that was a low blow? All right, fuck all of you. All right, before we go, I'd like to address the 6 million elephants in the room. Yes, mistakes were made. I might have done, and I get it, boo Hitler, Hitler's a dick. But I'm gonna ask you all a very honest question. When was the last time you were in a room and thought to yourself, man, I wish there were more Jews here? Okay, but like, get mad all you want, but like, when have you thought it? You know what I mean? You might be like, there's a good amount of Jews, but like, you never, like, nobody in LA is gonna get on board with this bit. I get it, we're all trying to get an Asian. I understand that. I have literature for you in the parking lot. Just saying, think about it, and I'll see you in 4 years when I take over the orange dude body. All right, fucking bye.
Adolf Hitler!
It feels weird to say, but keep it going for Hitler. Before we go, we're going to be back here soon. Next week, where are we going to be?
Next week, we're going to be at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room because we're roasting, for Fictional Roast, the Disney princesses. We got Mulan, Moana, Snow White, we got them all. It's 10:30 p.m., Belly Room. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, all the information is up there.
We'll be back here for Historical Roast on Tuesday, December 19th. We're going to be roasting God.
Because we've already pissed off everyone who's dead, so we might as well piss off.
Before we go, I got give a big round of applause for your roasters tonight.
Abraham Lincoln. Darien Sills-Evans as Abraham Lincoln.
The Puterbaugh Sisters is Helen Keller and Ann Sullivan.
Dave Ross as Walt Disney.
Scout Durwood is Marilyn Monroe.
Brad Gage as KFK.
Matt McCarthy is Benjamin Franklin.
And Keith Carey as Adolf Hitler.
Give a big round of applause, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for 3 years.
Thank you, Beowulf and Nerd Melt and the camera guys.
Thank you to Sammy Junio, our producer,
Yes.
who could not be here tonight.
Well, what do we say?
It's a historical roast.
Teaching history a lesson.
Good night, guys. Thank you so much.